All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cricket Vana. For various reasons, we couldn't meet last week. So, after 2 weeks gap, we will be trying to cover a lot of action that has happened in IPL 2020. Of course, there's a lot of other non-IPL cricket action as well, on and off the ground. But we'll cover at some other time. Including India's selection for Australia. There's women's cricket picking up. There's a lot of domestic cricket going on. Many play in England and New Zealand, and there's quite a bit of unique records as well. If you guys don't follow, no worries, you're excused. With that, I have the usual suspects here. Sridhar, as usual, our host and ringmaster. He will be in the background, but we have Somu. Hi, Somu.
Hi, hi.
Vinod. Hi, Vinod.
Hi everyone.
And Vinay, who will join us very soon. He's online, but he's just finishing up some work. So, welcome everybody. So, this is final week of the league games in IPL. There's only 7 games left. It's going to end on Tuesday. And isn't it amazing? 49 games later, as of today, we have only one qualifier, one confirmed qualifier, and one confirmed exit. And surprisingly, that's CSK, Chennai Super Kings. For the first time, they will not be in the playoffs. And Mumbai Indians, the defending champions, are in the playoffs. So the remaining 3 spots, there's still fight between all the remaining 6 teams. Isn't that beautiful? It's amazing setup. We are heading into the last weekend and last set of games. Everybody has 12 games each. No, sorry, 2 games each to play.
2 games each, yeah.
CSK and KK are played
CSK only one game.
today. Yeah, CSK and KK. So today was the first day of the 13th game for all. It's amazing, and I can't wait for the weekends. But unlike NFL and MLB or anywhere, the playoffs in IPL is not a very long celebrated event, because it just happens in 4 games. I mean, it's
4 games,
less than a week, only 4 games. Hopefully, we'll have some great games. 3 of them are knockouts, of course. Opening it up, we have quite a few topics to cover. But yeah, I'll just let Somu begin with his impression of what's happened so far.
Again, obviously, resurgence of Punjab. I was very excited. They're, 5 games, the last 5 games they have won. And surprisingly, CSK went down almost with a whimper. That is kind of disappointing. I did not expect them to, not even qualify. I thought they would go till the last day of it to make it up. And obviously, I'm excited about a bunch of new batsmen. I mean, the Padikkal played a great game today. The other kid, what's his name? Gaikwad played his second beautiful knocker. I like that. And I like good innings from Sanju Samson, which I was excited about. And, there's a lot of, there's so many games in 2 weeks that I saw extremely good batting and extremely good bowling, and some inept performances by the people who I thought they're going to perform really well. I mean, those are the things that I have right now. As we go to each of the games, and probably we can talk a little bit more. As I said, exciting games for the last 2 weeks, and I think I haven't missed any of them at all. So I think for a cricket fan like me and all of us here, I think this is really good. I didn't want too many places in the top 4 to be occupied right away. It's a perfect scenario, because you couldn't ask for anything better last week, because anybody can win. As a matter of fact, even KKR can make it, under the situation. So I'm excited to see, because that gives us an impetus to see all the games and follow more games than go to Budu Parvala. Let's watch the finals. We didn't have to do that. I'm excited about that, and let's rest of the people talk about it. We can talk about specific performances based on others' input.
Yes, yeah, we'll get to some of the individual teams and players a little bit later. Vinod, your first impressions?
Yeah, so I think rewind the clock back to a few weeks before when we had this meeting where KXIP had told that there's a very likelihood that CSK will be the first one to not make it to the playoffs, and looks like he was right. And you can see how I feel for the two teams that I was backing, CSK and Rajasthan Royals. Both are at the bottom for some weird reasons. So probably I didn't get it. If I was the person deciding somebody's dream 11, like I'm not the best bet now. So that's how it is. Yeah, it's surprising. I think one thing that I noticed was like with Chennai, surprising that none of the spinners bowled slower, and poor pace bowlers had to blow so slow to win the games for them. Spinners never seem to learn to bowl so slow at all for the whole thing that we were seeing. So it was very interesting. But I think two things always. At the end of the day, IPL is a league for Indian cricket to boom. So as long as there's no controversy, things are all going very well. A lot of young talent coming in. And Dhoni called the shots. He dealt with he not being selected, they not be making it to the quarter to the playoffs very gracefully. He just accepted the fact that we are a bunch of old people who are just not up to the mark on this particular season. So I think so they have a lot of soul searching to do. But all in all, I think as so much said. The fact that the spot is still open and the battle is wide open, we will be able to see some interesting games in the remaining days.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Sorry about that. So talking about CSK, we can pick that up first. The first team to exit. As much as I'm kind of, I wouldn't say happy, but at least my prediction came through right, and it wasn't just throwing it up in the air. I felt like that, but yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for them. I feel bad for, because it's a very well run team. The team management. I think Vinod knows Sadashivam or Srikantan. Huh?
Chandrasekhar.
Yeah, I mean, he runs it like a family, and they've been a great franchise.
Srinivasan team.
No, not just Srinivasan, the other guy.
VP Chandrasekhar was the person who
VP Chandrasekhar was
VP Chandrasekhar. So they were very different. Zara Hatke and they had a very different logic, then a very different way of going about building a team, maintaining the team. Even when there was a complete overall auction, they just it was not just the retainer or the right to match, but they actually bid again to get all of them back, pretty much the same team. So they had that. It's a very unique way, but yeah, I mean, they run their course. They were amazing. I mean, 3 years ago, even for 2018, after they came back from the ban, if they built this newly looking team, which was not really very new. I mean, they again, they brought back a lot of them. Imagine 2018, nobody gave them a chance, but they won it. 2019, they lost the final by 1 run. And now 2020, the third season, not playing any game in Chennai. I'll get to that point. I have some question on that. So I mean, at the start of the 2018, if they had said, okay, you're going to build this team and we'll give you 1 trophy, 1 runner-up, and you will exit the third one, I think they would have taken it easily. They would have said, oh yeah, we want that team, right? So on that note, one comment by Fleming, I want to pose that question to you guys. He said, oh, we built this team around Chepauk. The not playing in Chepauk, in Chennai, and moving to UAE was a big blow to us. Yes, it's a fact, but should that be the strategy? I don't think so. But So now, Randidu, we built the team around Chepauk Stadium. That is that
You
how
know,
they?
it holds some water. Let me tell you why. Okay. Iga, if you're playing in Perth, you have a different set of fast bowlers that you play. Okay.
Sure.
If you're playing in Sydney, you've got a different one. And if you come back to any of the South Asian, you have a different attack. So they do. But again, that cannot be the excuse, because the rest of the 7 teams built, I don't know, based on something, whatever that was,
Yeah.
because of Wankede or Chinnaswamy. I mean, everybody can brag about that. But I do agree in a way, because they kind of, they were going to play 7 games there or something like that.
Yeah, half
And
of it.
assuming 7 games, they would have won like 5 or 6 of it. The rest, that was an easy thing. I mean, I do give them a little bit of a credence on that.
Yeah, I think that's their logic. And they say,
Yeah.
okay, we play, every team plays half of it, which is exactly 7 in their home
Yeah.
ground.
Right.
And they say, if we can win 6, if not all 7,
Yeah.
then we just need 1 or 2 from the other 7.
Correct.
But then again, I think that's also, that actually, I'm glad they did not hide that point. They said, yeah, we built around that. So that's why they were always qualifying, not necessarily winning the trophy. They were losing the finals or whatever because it's not in Chennai. But it doesn't make sense that you're making one ground as your fortress when you know that even the playoffs will not be played in there all the time. But I mean, if you have good players, yeah, I mean, you will end up winning more than losing. But considering the ground as your main auction strategy, I don't think it was a great idea. But he said it. It's not even a rumor anymore. They said that.
No, but they have facts to back up too, and let's
Yes.
face it.
Yeah.
Okay, they have done well. They've done well. Again, I'm not saying they lost just because they played in Dubai. There were other reasons, because
Yeah.
there were, I mean, obviously the team was well balanced in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways they had, they did not have younger players batting or bowling. A little bit of an older crowd, for a lack of better word.
The spark was missing.
Yeah, Irla. So I think that it's one of the reasons, but that's not the only reason. I'll give them that. And you know what? And also, let's face it, Dhoni probably would have won 2 or 3 games by himself. Now he cannot win any more games. He's done. I mean, I hate to say that.
I know. I was
Today, the
waiting
way
for
he
at
got
least
bowled was,
one.
I mean, it was disappointing
I
for a
know.
fan. I think I'm sure Vinod is probably not even smiling today. So, but the way, I mean, it's not that he got out. The way he got out was kind of disappointing.
Many games, actually. I mean,
Many games, as a matter of fact. So,
I was waiting for at least one game that he will, because let's face it, like IPL bowling quality is not as great as the international quality, and
correct.
that's why you of course see a lot of bits and pieces or mediocre batsmen as well, sometimes scoring a lot, which is okay. I mean, that it's not a surprise. There are 8 teams and 7, so 56 Indians, minimum of 56 Indian players are playing in this league. So I mean, you can expect some mediocrity here and there, but even then I was expecting at least one knock from Dhoni that he can just smash over for like 2 overs, 3 overs, like a 30 run over or whatever. I hope it doesn't happen against Punjab, his last game, but you never know.
Look, for example, yesterday no Monday order, he hit a 6 and then he cut a ball caught behind. That was unusual for Dhoni to do that. I mean, you have never seen that again. I can sit here and say that the old whatever, it could be 100 different things, but unfortunately, he's not the same player he was, and it happens to everybody, not Dhoni, but it happens to everybody. I have to respect that. And
I think everybody has that. When they're at the end of the career, they just want to try that one more chance and see one more time. Maybe there is a little bit gas left in the tank. Let's do one more. So I mean, yeah. Oh, so Vinay is here. Vinay, you want to add anything about CSK?
No, I don't have anything to add. I mean, I don't know exactly how Chepauk behaves for them to construct a team around that. It feels like a legitimate statement, but at the end of the day, like, you still have to be able to win wherever you go, right? At least a couple of games. So I mean, I buy it, but I also don't buy it. I mean, it's like you kind of have to, you have to figure it out. Everyone plays on the same, the same fields, and after 2, 3, 4 games or something, you can adjust, and it didn't just seem to click for them. So there's, while I can agree that Chepak has a portion to do with them performing the way they did, I think there's a lot of other things too, like the age of the team and just the competition is just a lot better this time around. I think this is one of the most competitive IPLs we've seen. So that you can, there's multi-variables here that you can say. That's probably one of many, is what I would say.
Yeah, that's very true. And speaking about, making changes, that's one thing that I think Dhoni has to take the blame. Like, they, even after loss after loss, there wasn't any chance given to the so-called youngsters that he said, we didn't. It was bizarre statement couple games back where he said we didn't see that spark in any of the youngsters, so we didn't feel like changing the team. And then Ruturaj Gaikwad comes back. Props to him, because he tested positive, so he was quarantined for an additional.
Yeah, right.
He came in the middle, played one game, got out for 0, dropped again, and then for the last 3 games he started again with a 0, and then 2 man of the match 50s. Great find, future for CSK for sure, with Sam Curran, maybe Jadeja. Jadeja is not that young, but I mean, he's still.
He has another 2, 3 years left in him, Kuna. Yeah, I think he has a couple of years left in him.
Yeah. What about Dhoni? You think he'll play the next season?
I think he'll captain next time. He'll do that. The reason is they need somebody to groom the new team. I mean, the 11 will probably, I'm going to say, at least 5 or 6 positive changes are going to be there. I don't know whether Shane Watson is going to come back. Faf may not come back. Then Bravo may not come back. There's a few they may not come back. But I'm hoping Sam Curran, Jadeja, and Resurgence Gaikwad, and obviously number 3, Namma. He played well.
I was looking forward to Jagdishan as well. I mean, he shot some good shots against Bangalore, but I mean, he didn't have that 6-hitting power, or I mean, he wasn't even running well. But I mean, his technique looked okay. And apparently he was the TNPL champion, last season. He amassed a lot of runs for Tamil Nadu Premier League as well. So I was hoping that he would be promoted up the order in last 2-3 games, but he never, didn't even make it to the pitch. Vinod, what do you think of Dhoni coming back?
I don't think he'll come back. I'm very strong proponent he will not come back. So he doesn't. That's my view. I've got it wrong, but I think he will not come back because what I'm seeing about him is what I saw in Test cricket.
Yeah.
See, if he's there into it and he wants to do it, he will do it, because he knew that he still can't hit those match-winning games, but he was part of the World Cup because he wanted to contribute in any form that he wants. I don't see that appetite now. It's like he still believes in the process. He flows with the process, and not to blame him. He's been a great player. Not to take any credit for him. He's been trying very hard. He's giving everybody the opportunity. I think at this point he says that I think he's exhausted his ability to step up. He's hoping somebody else will step up, and that's not happening.
That's not happening.
That's how he did it in the Test cricket. When he felt he cannot step up, he walked out. He just stepped aside very soon. I think he got his calculation wrong. He was hoping that he will stay groom and get somebody else to do the spar, come to the playoffs, and then retire gracefully. But it just backfired. Also, Harbhajan is one of the top wicket takers in all seasons, right? And Harbhajan, the Harbhajan and Suresh Raina not joining the team in the last minute is a big derail to their plan. And and he's already distributing all his jerseys to every player now. I can see Dhoni 7 jerseys being handed over to every other team players.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's handing over all the jerseys to all other players. So I'm kind of made up my mind that he will gracefully exit after the announcement is coming after the next match. I think it's pretty obvious something is coming after the next match or something is going to happen.
I think so too. I mean, or maybe you'll just.
I mean, obviously,
he
probably
goes
he'll
back
be a
to
part of
India
the.
and tweet another exit and be done with it.
So he's done
Yeah, I
his
mean,
part.
he
I
will
think
still be part of the CSK as a
Oh yeah.
mentor, management, whatever. But yeah, I don't
Chennai will
think.
not leave him. He's the
Yeah,
brand that they're holding up,
yeah.
and he will help build the next brand. But my take on is that he can talk about youngster spark, but we don't see the Dhoni spark in him, and it's
Exactly.
pretty natural.
When is
I
the
think
next IPL really going to happen? It's going to happen in April right away or no? Do you know? What do you know?
No official comment on postponing yet. So apparently, I mean, yeah. So as of the international calendar set for next 5 years, it's supposed to happen in April and May. But yeah, you never know. I mean, there could
If
be
it happens in April, Vinod, maybe he'll come back. Not because he's going to, I think he'll come back to groom the team. That's my opinion. Again, I'm not saying he should.
He may not even play every game. Why? I mean, maybe maybe he will hand over the captaincy and say, we'll have another backup keeper, and I don't know. But yeah, so that's one possibility. But again, I mean, it depends again when it's going to happen, because it cannot happen next October because World Cup is already set up.
No.
Unless the World Cup also gets cancelled like this year, which opens up another window. But yeah, so you never know. And again, whether it's coming back to UAE or will India be safe for the next edition, who knows? So anything else on CSK, or can we move on to?
Let's move on.
I think there's this very interesting book called The Winner Effect. You should read that book called The Winner Effect. It typically talks about the car racing guys and stuff, and you kind of the fact that they say is it doesn't matter which opponent you play, you win 3 matches against the most weakest opponent, you will still be well prepared to beat a stronger opponent, even though you've beaten only 3 weaker opponents, because that's the testosterone and dopamine effect that happens. It's a chemical reaction in your body. You can't say that, hey, I play the toughest team now, so I'm confident I'm going to play the next toughest team and win it. Doesn't matter. You have to at least win against 3 or 4 weak teams that will create this effect in you, and that will automatically make you perform well against stronger contenders. The fact that CSK couldn't get that win was very obvious. For Dhoni, it might be very okay, right? Like he's surpassed those things, and he's a guy who believes in process. Every match he loses, he will see 3 or 4 wins and move on to the next one. But everybody is not the same mentality, right? Yeah, with Sam Curran, I could see Sam Curran's face, right? Like he's still consistently doing well. There's no victory in his face. I could look at Faf Duplessis' face, right? I mean, they're just going with the momentum. He's taking his catch and going, but nothing is driving that motivation. It happens in cricket many times. But
this reminds me of this. Go ahead.
Just to add to the point, right? The interesting fact is, this is what I miss in World Cups. I'm not changing the topic, but I'll tell you this is what I'm missing in the World Cup. In the World Cup, it's a reverse effect, right? The reverse effect is that a game with an Ireland, a game with Canada, or a game with Kenya as one of the 3 teams coming back will be super exciting for them. They just need 1 game to win. They'll come with very low expectation. They just want 1 game to win. Like, for example, when Sachin lost his father and he flew back to India and he came back to South Africa, that Kenya match, it's a match against Kenya, that's all.
Yeah.
That Kenya match where he played changed the momentum of the team. Chennai never got that and never got that momentum, right? They just didn't get that momentum even with any team. Yeah. Even in the first 10 hours, neither they got it. The second 10 hours, they got it. They never got it. So then what I read in that book is very obvious. It's the effect I'm seeing, right? There's no chemical reaction in anybody's body to motivate you further, right? To see that. Now it's
as I said, there was no spark at all. I mean, the victories were kind of...
It reminds me of the... some story I had heard about some of these Greek warriors. Mm-hmm. Before a big war, they were set up exactly like this. They were actually they used to have a fake fight with the weaker, like from the same team, and just to pump them up, so that they can just bash these weaker guys and pump them up and then go to the real war. So
see, any victory, a consecutive 1, 2, 3 victories will give us tremendous boost to your confidence. It doesn't matter who the team is, because just the victory itself will change your attitude and when you come, there is an aura of invincibility with them, and it changes absolutely. You're right. It really changes the perspective of how they come to the field and how they perform. It doesn't matter who the team is, but it gives them a tremendous amount of confidence. There's no question about it.
And in Chennai, the thing what I was seeing in Chennai is that there was no injured warrior or a guy who was hurt, right? For example, Chris Gayle comes for Kings 11. He's like, man, you kept me out. I'm coming, right? Rohit Sharma is like, I'm not selected for the Indian team. I'm practicing. Every day the video comes as how he's working hard, right? Vijay Shankar, like, oh, this was my do and die day. So that day he took a catch, he took runs. And like, I don't see that in Raidu. Raidu is like half the time tired running, right? Like, what do you want? For every ball he feels, I don't see the spark at all in him, right? Like, yeah, his fielding looks like I've done a favor for you. Be thankful to me now.
Like, it looks... I mean, today won the 4. It was a 4. He was not happy because it was declared 4. I mean,
it was so obvious. He should know he tests the rope. He should know he tests the rope.
Yeah. So I think that's what I mean. What the heck? Come on. Yeah. You get it. And talking about Vijay Shankar, I tell you, that was one of the best innings he played the other day. I mean, absolutely
some of his lofted straight shots are really beautiful to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I was very impressed with him. I was not a big fan of Vijay Shankar. Yeah. That innings made me change my opinion about that guy who really did, and got a wicket and got a good catch and he did a lot of things that day. But anyway,
and of course, Manish Pandey also played well with him. But then both of them actually really screwed it up in the next game by not taking that responsibility and
I think if you go overseas, at least for a series, Vijay Shankar should be the 5th bowler and play a test match. I really want to see him play some test match so that it will shape him up. This is like it is you cannot see him as a single 4th down batsman. He's a package, right?
Can he be a number 6 test batsman?
You come with the old ball, right? So what? You're coming back with the way you bat. But
if that innings is any indication to me, he can bat really good. But every stroke he made was a classic test innings he played, not a slogging. It's too much on a bat mada.
Right? Yeah. You get a 5th bowler like Hardik Pandya improved like that. Hardik Pandya played a couple of test matches. He improved like that.
My God, that kid has power.
By the way, we are in the crisis. Ishant Sharma injured, and other bowlers. Bumrah has been figured out. Actually, for all practical reasons, Bumrah has been figured out after the surgery, right? And the only reason we have done well abroad is because of fast bowlers. So we have a scarcity. We need to fill it, right? So to fill that space,
Umesh is low in confidence. Hardik Pandya doesn't bowl anymore.
So anyway, without distracting from the main topic, I think just to close the loop on it, Vijay Shankar should play test, and we should see how he grooms there. I still don't consider him as a T20 player. I still don't consider him a T20 player.
I think that was a wrong move. By selecting Vijay Shankar for that World Cup, they actually did a disservice to him and his career as well, because I don't think he will ever be selected anymore. Unless we get into that desperate situation again where we don't have any other all-rounder and we are looking for that 5th seamer.
I mean, in defense of him, he never got a chance to play any game in the World Cup. I mean, he was a good traveler on a town. He didn't do anything.
By the way, his wicket against Pakistan was very critical.
Right.
When Pakistan, he's the guy who broke the partnership, right? First. So,
that's right.
Anyway,
so end of CSK. Seriously, end of CSK. Literally speaking, an era has gone. They had a great run, of course. I think we, apart from Mumbai winning one additional trophy compared to CSK, for me, CSK has been the team of the IPL for the first decade. They've qualified all the time. They have played 8 finals, lost 5 times. Won 3. Yes, Mumbai won 4. But overall, I think CSK and I mean, again, whatever Dhoni is right now, he will walk straight into my all-time IPL 11 for the first decade, of course. So with that, we don't have much to talk about Mumbai. They qualified, and we all know what they do. Nothing surprising there, except for that Rohit Sharma is not going to play. I don't think he's going to play any IPL game anymore this year. considering
It
that
is so
he's not
unfortunate, right? Sorry to interrupt. It's so unfortunate, right? This is exactly Mumbai is becoming Manchester United of of the European football. Like they're good, but people tend
I
to
know.
hate them more than
I
like them.
don't think anybody wants Mumbai to win outside Mumbai, right? I mean, there's no.
Exactly.
I don't see any neutral supporter for Mumbai.
I have a question. You see, I saw him. He was practicing. Obviously, they say he was injured, and you guys are telling me that he might play a game or two. I don't know that he will.
No, I don't think he will play any.
Why was he not even considered for Australian tour?
No, that's
Is there anything that is secretive that we don't know, or what is that? Or maybe I'm not following.
I think it's because of that injury. I mean, they could have held. I feel they could have. I mean, we can talk about selections later, but they could have held back the test selection because they're starting with the white ball tour first. They could have said, okay, yeah, Rohit Sharma and Ishant Sharma, because they added that rider in the end saying, if they are fit and they prove their fitness, they will be drafted into the test team. But the
No. I think at this point, I've read this article on even how other teams are preparing for international tours. They have very clear bio-bubble laws. Okay, there's no ifs and buts about it. If people are fit, they are traveling, because there are some people where you need to carry them along with their families as well, right? It's okay to make the hard call, right? So look at from spectator perspective, right? Doesn't matter if you lose all games or win all games, doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, a cricket fan, you make a strong decision, take the well-fit team, no ifs and buts, go get them to perform there, let them do it. I think,
I think
why would you
because
a
of
team?
the
The
COVID
moment you say
situation.
a team, the moment you assume a team, my team is contingent on how Rohit feels. That's not the India we want to create, right? It's fine. Rohit will come back and do very well.
Agreed.
I mean, I will stand by the decision. Whatever they take, I'll stand by the decision. I might be disappointed about other things.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you guys think he'll be
because of
added
the
to the
COVID
squad?
situation, this might have come up. If not, I think they would have said, we'll wait, because it has happened before. I mean, Indian selection, we know, can be quirky sometimes, and they just feel like we'll do it. Even after they promise, they will say, oh, we didn't do the test selection because we have time. We'll do it 3 weeks later, and they will just hope that Rohit Sharma is fit. But yeah, I think because of the COVID situation, they might have taken this decision this time. But yeah, I mean, so with that in mind, I don't see Rohit playing IPL at all.
What's the point? I mean, if he's not going to go to Australia, then he should really rest and get back to shape.
Yeah, or maybe it might be the other way. You will think, if they qualify for the finals, and he feels a little bit fit enough, you say, yeah, well, I'm not going to Australia, let me just play today and rest forever. So
I don't think Rohit is in the criteria for rest forever. No, I think the simple equation is the one-day World Cup and the T20 World Cups are being postponed. They are not very far off. They are very round the corner after a year or so. And Australia is the best place to practice. So we need to get our second string team ready. So you might as well give a chance to these people. And you always know when the World Cup comes, the Rohits are going to come. You know Shikhar Dhawan will come. But at this point, this is the best place to test the new players. Go test them out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I don't think Rohit has been dropped per se.
Oh, no.
Moving to our team of the, not just
couple of weeks.
Team of the fortnight. Team of the fortnight, if we want to speak in the English language, Kings 11 Phoenix. They have rised as, they have come back after losing 5 of their first 6 games. And now they have won 5 in a row. I don't think any other team has won 5 in a row this season.
No, Yarila.
Maybe Mumbai? I don't know. But anyway, Kings 11 Punjab are now looking at most likely 4th team to qualify. But they may not be number 4. They may end up being number 3. Who knows?
So they have one game against Chennai, right? They have one game against Chennai.
Yeah, they are playing Rajasthan tomorrow. And then Chennai. So they have RR and CSK, 2 games, which are...
They can technically beat both of them.
Yeah. They are the only team who have beat top 3, all top 3, like Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. So you never know. But again, you just look at it from Punjab's perspective. But I mean, Rajasthan and Hyderabad are also in the similar situation. And they also have 2 games to play. So anything can happen. And same, Bangalore and Delhi can also lose the next 2 games and get out. You never know. So Punjab, we talked, the previous edition, we talked about Kumble on his birthday, and we mentioned that Punjab is making all these wrong moves, and there's pressure on Kumble and Rahul and what's gonna happen. And then look where we are now. Vinod, Punjab.
I mean, so I think there is practical observation that people have done that Rahul seems to be calm. He seems to push the game till the end. His frustration shows in his face, but he's able to handle it. But there's a lot of determination among the guys. Puran, all these guys, they seem to have a lot of determination. Like somebody picks up the mantle and say, "I will go do it," right? From their perspective, with Mandeep Singh, the way he batted, everybody seemed to just want to go do it, right?
We have to. Yeah, we cannot miss giving props to Mandeep Singh and also Nitish Rana for playing match-winning knock after a death in their family the previous day. Nitish Rana lost his father-in-law, and then Mandeep lost his father. So our condolences to them. And but great knocks, both of them. Even Nitish Rana played great today as well.
Yeah, ಇವತ್ತು ಒಳ್ಳೆ innings appa.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I'm still concerned about what is it, Jimmy Nisham's face. I'm still worried. I've seen it a couple of times. He's sitting next to Kumble and his expression is some different story. Like he never laughed.
There, it doesn't
Either he's completely upset. I don't know what's going on. He's sitting in the audience.
I know.
He's just not
but
expressing
more than
himself.
Nisham, my conundrum, my question is, what is Maxwell doing or not doing? And why is he still playing? I mean, I'm hoping that he will come through someday, because trust the Aussies to play in the big games, like the playoffs or a knockout game. That's why I was also kind of worried about RCB. We'll get to RCB soon. That it was probably too late to drop Finch at this time.
Yes.
But these Aussies, I'm telling you, they will come good in the playoffs and the knockout games. But what is Maxwell? What is Maxwell's role in Punjab, and why is he still playing?
He did play one match-winning innings, right? He did play one match-winning innings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played a supporting 28 or something.
But the 30 not out.
Yeah.
And, and he got another 10 or 12 not out. And,
but remember, Ben Stokes until that last game and Maxwell were the two players who have batted for more than 100 balls without hitting a six. And of course, Ben Stokes changed it, but Maxwell has not hit single six in this IPL. Yeah. That one winning shot against KKR 2 weeks ago, they lost the game by 2 inches, which could have been one of the greatest sixes, which didn't happen. So
and they would have been qualified by now.
Yeah, they would have been. With 1 or 2 extra wins, they would have been at the top, and we would be talking about RCB and RR and all the other teams.
But in Maxwell antandre, look, he takes some tremendous catches, saves a bunch of runs, okay, and ball ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ 1 wicket ಅಂತ ತಗೋತಾನೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು 3 over 20 run ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. I mean, he's pretty, he's handy, and he fields really well, and he explodes on his day when he's batting. That's a bonus. I mean, he's supposed to get runs. I'm not saying. And also, yarna replace ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ
exactly. I think they don't have a better option.
Even Australia, the same problem you have with Maxwell for Kings 11, even Australia has it. They just don't know when to drop him and when to pick him. Like, they just keep him with them. Have him, he'll pick someday.
Yeah,
right.
One of the lucky mascots, I guess.
I'm impressed with Punjab. In spite of the opener not playing for the last 2-3 games, they're still really winning handily. Agarwal.
Mandeep stepped up, beautifully. Yeah. And for some reason, Gale at 3 is working like a charm. Puran has some good cameos, but I'm telling you, I think Maxwell. I don't think they are going to drop Maxwell. Huh?
I think the only non-fielder in their team now today is Chris Gale. Apart from that, they have a
Yes.
complete package.
Oh yeah, they
Yes,
have a
William
very
Joseph has
young
a
team.
complete package.
I think Punjab can be like, moving forward, can be the CSK of the next few years, where they will always qualify. They have some amazing young talent and great team. We know they're gonna. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna win so many trophies, but I think they will be a force for next few years.
That's exactly what I saw in Rajasthan Royals as well.
Yeah, I think
But
so
Yeah.
like
too.
yeah, because
Yeah, I
if you
think
look
so
at the
too. I mean,
11,
yeah,
right, there's
they
no
made.
weak links. There's no weak links at all,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
I
Kings
think so
11 is
too. They may not qualify this time, but I think they will also be very strong in next couple of years.
You know what? One of the reasons I believe Punjab is winning, because Rahul is captaining his side extremely well under the duress. He really, I tell you, his bowling changes, his field
Yes.
placements. You see some confidence in him. He knows what he's doing. It's not like,
Yeah,
I am very impressed with the way he has, had his 15, 16, 17, 18th overs, bringing people. I never thought, I never thought he's going to bring Bishnoi now. He brought him in, got a wicket. And
yeah.
by the other left-hander, the leg spinner, I forget his
He
name.
reads the game really well.
Really, yeah. I think he has
Muruganathan.
done a good job.
Yeah, he
And I'm
reads the
sure.
game very well. I think
so
that was the.
batsman, keeper, and captain is always a good deal.
I know.
Yeah.
That was the concern. I mean, sorry, not the concern. Sorry, I apologize. That was the feedback from many corners about Rahul for last couple of years, even on the domestic circuit as well. They were saying like he's a very intent reader of the game, and not just an intent student like Dravid, but this guy makes things happen. As when you give him the captaincy, or when you. I mean, the way he has adapted his batting to all three formats is amazing. I think we have a future white ball captain, at least, I guess, because he's made the vice captain.
Yeah,
The
I think they saw
aspect of
something in him,
Rohit.
Kuna. I think
Huh?
they saw something in him in this last 7, 8 games that
Yes.
they made him the vice captain,
Yeah.
obviously in the absence of Rohit Sharma, but
Yeah.
obviously well deserved in my opinion.
I think so too. I think, and
Yeah.
also because now Kohli, 32, and we cannot just have Kohli and Rohit as captain and vice captain because they're pretty much the same age. Just like we had Ganguly and Dravid, and so that's when you want to get a like a next gen kid as the vice captain, so that you start grooming them, which is good. I mean, who is not a big fan of Rahul
See, and
either?
also mind you, when you're given a responsibility to captain for the first time, and the entire world's focus is on IPL right now. Every
Yeah.
cricketer that is there, they're watching IPL, and
Yes.
it's intense scrutiny. And also the thing is, not only he's doing a great job as a captain, and he's taking the responsibility, getting runs and
Oh yeah,
succeeding. He has never given up his orange cap, and he's not going to give it up.
exactly. It's not affecting his batting at all, which is a great sign.
Yeah, I think that is what
So, speaking of Punjab and Mumbai, we cannot ignore the first ever double super over.
Oh yeah.
Double super over. And Jimmy Neesham was right there.
Wow.
Imagine his plight. Like, where was this rule 1 year ago? Right? He batted in that super over in World Cup final, and he would be thinking, where was this rule? Why couldn't we play a second super over? So speaking of two super overs, apparently is there a limit? Like what will they keep playing if there is a tie super over after super over?
I guess so. I mean,
As
it's
long as
going
you
to
don't
end
reuse
once,
players.
but
As long as you don't reuse the player, I think you can keep going, right?
No, reuse the player only if they get out. You can if the batsman is not out, he can continue to bat in the next over too. I didn't know that. I thought,
No. I think if you send them
yeah.
out,
once he is done, he's done, Kana.
no, once you send
No,
two out,
I got it confirmed. If you get out, only then you cannot bat. If you stay not out, you can come back.
Oh.
Yeah. But the bowler, yes, you cannot bowl another, over again. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if maybe you have that same quota that say, okay, you're supposed to play with 5 bowlers. So if the super over goes to the 6th super over, maybe you can reuse the bowler again. I don't know.
First bowler again, back
Yeah,
again.
I don't know. So on that note, it was a great revelation to see Shami of all the bowlers, defend 5 runs against Rohit and Quinton. Right? I mean, but then of course, Chris Gale, it's the only 6 ever scored in a super over. We had what? 1, 2, 3, 4 super overs. So basically 8 overs, and we have only 1 6 in IPL this season, and that's by Chris Gale. You needed the universe boss to come and hit a 6 in a super over. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things happened. It was one of the probably will go down as one of the best IPL games.
Coming back to Chris Gale, and if the commentators was talking about it, if he really wants to run, he can run two. You remember that innings he ran back and forth, back and forth. I mean, that's unbelievable. I never thought he would run.
That. It's not that he cannot. It's just that he does not want to.
I know. No.
He doesn't care. He doesn't want to too many runs to run.
I'm not going to waste too much energy on this.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that was critical. That too, for them to win that game, that was critical.
So. And did you see his celebration after he took the catch yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fine leg. So I had one other topic before we move to the conclusion. It was RCB. So where I mean, RCB and Delhi, they have followed the same path pretty much, right? They were always in top 3. They reached 1, then somebody wins and goes again. They never dropped down, below even 3 after the first game or 2. But now they are in a losing streak. RCB for the first time in this season have lost 2 in a row, which is a great achievement in itself. And Delhi has 3 losses.
3 losses.
All they wanted was 1 more win to qualify, and they have lost 3 in a row. Now Bangalore and Delhi are going to play their final game against each other. But before that, they have a small matter of playing Bombay and Hyderabad. So why is that happening? Is there a reason we can attach to, or is just other teams playing well?
I mean, as I said, I don't think anything special here is happening. I think it's just that, as Dhoni said, this is the second half of IPL. The first half had a different factor about new, and the second half has different factors. So probably that's what this is impacting here for these 3 guys, because the team's composition was well off probably for the first half, and all 3 has to fall in place, right? Like the toss, the conditions, and then you need to have the talent to surpass all of them. So probably RCB and Delhi are facing the heat of that, because Parthiv Patel was dropped, so not Parthiv Patel, it was Prithvi Shaw. Prithvi Shaw was sent out. It was better for him to Sehwag actually said that very clearly. Ponting did a great thing by dropping Prithvi Shaw, though he played the best innings, because in the past, when Sehwag was going to the bad patch, he actually asked Rahul Dravid and Saurav Ganguly to rest him, and they choose not to rest him actually. And he said that had a reverse impact on him. And whereas Ponting was very good here, you might come back and play the playoff, but I'm going to give you a break right now. So actually, Ponting gave back. So I think there's something going on. They need to get that equation right. 3 and 2 losses, it just can happen. Also, let's not forget the fact that 2 of the games were won single-handedly for them, right? Like Shikhar Dhawan's long in the innings.
Yeah.
See, whenever a single player wins a game for you, you don't take too much into it right now, because you can lose in the next game.
Exactly.
If you see a teamwork coming to getting you to sail across the fence, then you can say, okay, you're doing it. Like Mumbai does it. Mumbai, Surya Kumar or somebody, you can always say the next match they will come and do it. Delhi and stuff, previously I saw it, but in the last 2 games before they started doing the losing streak, they were too heavily dependent on Shikhar Dhawan or somebody else.
Only Dhawan. And yeah, that's true. Yeah, first 5 games they had 5 different man of the match. Ashwin, Akshar, Prithvi, Stoinis, and one more. And Rabada had the purple cap without ever winning the man of the match. And so it was going superbly. And then it was just Dhawan, loss.
And same thing with AB. The one game that RCB won last time was AB, right?
Yeah.
AB.
AB pulled it off in the end, and that match again, we would have lost it. If not for AB, RCB would have lost it, right?
Yeah, against Rajasthan. Yeah.
And it has consistently been AB or Chahal who's pulling them back into the game. And you can't run a 14-match series with just one or two players, right?
In fact,
So,
including CSK, RCB has been the slowest batting team this season between in the middle overs from 7 to 15. Their run rate has been like less than 8. Even CSK has batted better than RCB in that session. But of course, they were making up from some very good bowling for a change, and of course the death batting, between Morris and even Kohli. If Kohli, I think Kohli has been the culprit in the middle overs now. He's going at like 105 or something strike rate.
Yes.
Middle overs. So I still feel if they want to drop Finch, then he might just open himself like he did in 2016 and get Moeen Ali or somebody in the middle who can, start smashing the spinners. I like the intent that Padikkal had last game again in the middle overs for a change. Or Kohli just come down later so that he doesn't have any option of surviving or, rotating the strike and starts, hitting last 5 overs. But even yesterday, right? I mean, when Joshua and Padikkal were going so great, Kohli just came in, scored 9 of 15 balls.
And he got out.
His ego took over. He saw a short ball from Bumrah. He couldn't duck or he had to go for it. And I don't know. So it's the same.
The other thing which you have noticed in Nangan said that Delhi lack of Delhi winning is obviously Shikhar Dhawan, in my opinion, because he dominated the 2 innings, and after that nobody else batted. Then then he got out. Then everybody else pressure, and also Stoinis is getting out quicker. So Stoinis was batting well. He's not doing that anymore. That's another thing. And also, mind you, even though today I observed it, both of the captains wanted to bowl first. Okay.
Yes.
Luckily. I mean, when you look at it,
suddenly in this second half, there's been so many chasing going on.
Okay. The other thing which is, obviously wicket, the same 4-5 wicket ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. I mean, that's been really used now. So the wicket is behaving a little differently. And I think the dew is coming into the effect. Today, they were wiping the ball every last 3-4 overs. Nobody was gripping the ball, as a matter of fact. In fact, even, when that guy got Jadeja got him a 6, no ball, give ball, life. I don't think he was gripping the ball. And there is something that dew is doing to the pitch, to the field in the latter part of the innings is having some effect on the team that they're playing. I'm just looking at it from far. That's what I'm thinking.
But we talked about it even in the first half. Yes, there wasn't that kind of a dew where it was helping the chasers in that way, but we know that it was still hard to grip. That's why we were talking, where there were too many full tosses or beamers sometimes. There was, so that slippery situation was always there.
I thought it was more exacerbated in the last 2-3 days. And that's again, I'm just thinking. I'm looking from here. You don't know anything. I'm just thinking, is that possible? Because that happened yesterday. That happened in the previous Dubai game as well. Yes. So maybe that is something that's coming to the.
But and then other thing is, when they start reusing those same pictures, we saw that even in World Cup, many World Cups or even IPLs. When they start using the same pitches, it actually slows down in general convention. But here we are not really seeing that kind of a 130, 140 kind of games. We are still seeing 170, 180, even 195 got chased easily yesterday, right? So it's been a bizarre way in that. So in this season, we cannot really zero in on the trend, or how the pitches or the toss or the bat first or bowl first kind of a trend. It's been It's been very
See,
random.
you remember in the beginning, they were batting second. Then they chose to bat first. Now
Yes.
they're batting second again.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an expert by any stretch of imagination, obviously. I think I would love to listen to somebody in where they were there playing.
Yeah.
I said, what happened? I mean,
Yeah.
what is that made such a difference in everybody's winning or losing or whatever you want to call that?
I think Dhoni, Rahul, or I don't know. Those are some of the best judges of these kind of situations. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what I mean. Somebody
Really
who was
ask
there.
them.
I think
I don't really trust Kohli on that, but
from
Pollard. I think even Pollard can give you some great insights.
yeah, but I think here's what I'm thinking. We tend to underestimate this, but I want to call it out. Statistics say that. What if people figured out that batting is going to always be a great horsepower, that people are going to just hit people out of the park, and lot of bowling coaches and others spend time on improving the bowlers, right? Like for example, they actually did a lot of improvement in bowlers, which the batsmen are not caught up, right? See,
Yes.
this is the picture. If you can see behind me here, right? If you see the picture that I have behind me here,
Right.
just look at this picture. This says the wicket keeper is actually, if you see this wicket keeper here, he is ready to stand behind the wickets, right? He's outside the off stump, and look how much
Outside the off stump.
They have mastered to bowl exactly on the outside the off stump on the wide line in angles with a slower ball. You need to, and every batsman is stretching like this.
Yes.
That's the reason I saw that. It's very difficult. Trust me, bowling a wide is very difficult. Like aiming the three line and bowling is very difficult, and every bowler seems to have mastered it. They're bowling wide of the.
I see Varun Chakravarti bowling that a lot. He's really tremendous bowler. I kind of started liking him.
Yeah, and that seems to be the strategy now. You bowl wide of the crease, you bowl in the angle, blow the slow balls, and every batsman, like the free flowing hitter like Jadeja, is stretching so much to hit. And I've seen this. And why I think this is planned is the wicket keepers are ready for it, which says that it is planned. Every wicket keeper is actually ready for it.
Oh, I mean, especially with Dinesh Karthik, you can see last season and the other, last 2 seasons in Calcutta, he was guiding, like the tennis doubles partners. He was guiding the young bowlers like Mavi, Nagarkoti, and other young spinners behind the batsman with the signals to bowl, to tell them what to bowl. And he would,
and even for Rahul for that matter, who's now Rahul as a makeshift keeper. Look at him. You can see every ball where he stands for wicket keeping is different. And I myself can anticipate something coming up differently. And you can see that the bowlers who are not in form, like Karan Sharma, right? How many times have we heard Dhoni say, "Nahi, nahi, nahi"? He keeps saying like he just says "nahi, nahi." He says, I think he knows the mic, so he's not talking the next word.
Yeah.
So he clearly says, like they just not got the plot. Looks like they just the moment the ball released from his hand, we can see Dhoni saying in the mic, "Nahi, nahi."
Nahi. Exactly.
That is good.
Yeah.
So looks like the bowling coaches have done their job, and I think we should not forget giving credit to them, because some real big ideas they've come up with, and we can see good batsmen struggling as well.
Yeah, I think batting, especially IPL batting, has kind of hit the ceiling there. I mean, there's unless there is some very new innovation, something comes up, either the shot or the stance or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you can, until you hit sixer every ball. Yes, that is the limit technically. But I mean, I think we are seeing the peak of batting. Look
at du Plessis, right? Look at du Plessis' international career, how he bats, and look how he batted in the first. He's scoring behind the wicket.
Yeah.
He's this. I need to find some ways to score, because I think the bowlers have figured it out.
Yeah.
You just give them the credit that they're kind of the bowling coaches and the folks have done good research.
Lockie Ferguson today was trying that wide.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody does that, and you invariably see many bowlers getting that wide signal and getting frustrated, and sometimes it's marginal, wide or not. Umpires are also in a pressure now. Like, they're going to bowl there. I need to make sure whether it's, to call it a wide or not. Right.
Yeah.
And then that's why, suddenly it went full toss. There was a no ball free.
And, today that opener got out to Cummings because he was trying to hit behind the wicket keeper. He got bored. Beautiful. I mean, now everybody knows who's going to do what. I think the bowlers have changed their, length and direction.
Apart from Sharjah, right? Apart from Sharjah, in the other two grounds, right? Typically, what happens is the third man boundary becomes short, so people tend not to bowl wide because a miscue can go for a 6. In the other two grounds, the ground is so big, miscues don't go for a 6 if you bowl wide, right? Now, what has happened is they're using the pitches in the edge. Now they're preserving the center pitch for the playoffs, and they're using the pitches in the edge. So in today's match, because they're using the pitches in the edge, some of the boundaries became short, and you could see that Sam Curran could hit that ball and stuff. But I think, long story short, I think the bowlers have done their innovation. I think they've come with the next set of waves.
The other thing which I'm thinking, they have used only 3 grounds. If it was played in India or let's say even South Africa, they had more wickets to play. They didn't have to play this many matches in a single ground. I was match for 54 games, right? Total. They played like almost 20 games in each of the games. In the ground, which takes a lot of burden in 40 days. So,
All right. With that, I think we are a little bit over time anyway.
Overtime, yeah.
We will close it out. I don't want to take too much time. I'll just give 10 seconds to each of them. Now that we are, Mumbai is qualified, everyone has to now predict Mumbai's position in 1, 2, 3, 4 and the 3 other teams. Vinay.
I think Mumbai keeps number 1 and it's going to be the same order. Or I think, then Delhi, then RCB, and then I think Punjab. That's my order.
All right, Vinod.
Yeah, I've got it wrong, so let me go on the wrong side only. So
tell me Mumbai will not qualify.
I would say Punjab will climb up to 3, I'm hoping. Punjab, until unless Ben Stokes does some miracle or Sanjay Samson does some miracle, I think Punjab will climb up. I would hate to say that, but it's Vinay's order seems more right. But just for the flip of the coin, for the way they have played, I would put Delhi 1, Bombay 2, and Kings 11 3, and RCB 4.
Okay, so same 4 teams in different order. Somana?
Mumbai, Punjab, DC, RCB.
Wow. If Punjab has to be 2, that means they will be 16.
Yeah.
Because of the run rate, you are saying that Bangalore and Delhi will remain on 14.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Wait, if Bangalore remains on 14, that means Hyderabad gets to 14 as well. And Hyderabad run rate is higher. Because Hyderabad has to beat Bangalore to keep Bangalore in 14.
True.
Interesting. Wow.
Okay,
Hyderabad run rate is amazing. Actually, they are the second best run rate.
Right.
Yeah, look, if the run rate remains, let's assume for a minute, then Punjab will go up higher than if they're going to win. Obviously, they're going to win both games. They're going to go higher than RCB.
Okay. All right. We'll take that. Let's see. I would say Mumbai, Bangalore, Punjab, Hyderabad.
Wow.
I think Delhi is on a spiral down now. I don't know.
So
I think Delhi might still make it, but you never know. When Delhi
as long as Ponting is there, don't think about the spiral down. Even if you discount as long as Ponting is there.
I was going to say that because I'll give Ponting. He'll be the 15th man coming in batting.
That's true. I think I'm wrong because Bangalore and Hyderabad both cannot qualify, more practically speaking, because they're both playing the last game. So the loser will probably miss out. All right, I'll say Delhi at 4, no Hyderabad. Okay, with that, there was one question, not really a question, but my friend again, he had commented to start giving out like suggesting some Twitter handles to follow, because I am a very avid Twitter follower in cricket. I have a cricket list as well that I've shared with many of you already. One account that I would like to recommend today is Joy Bhattacharya.
Ah, yeah.
He is an amazing encyclopedia of not just cricket but many other things as well. He's very well read. Just go to his Twitter, follow him. He has this amazing joy factor quiz that he puts up every match day, not just IPL, like 365 days. There will be something that will be talked upon. He's a regular in CrickBuzz, if you follow the app or the website. But go to Joy Bhattacharya. He's the number one guy I will recommend if you want to follow somebody on cricket. I mean, he has some tidbits on national struggle and Bengal, Calcutta history and Bollywood, whatever, right? Salil Da, anything. He's an amazing encyclopedia. I hope he stays brain fit like that, and he has some amazing facts to share. So that will be my first handle, JoyBhattacharj, Bhattacharj. I don't know why he stopped there, but that's his account. So yeah, see you all next week. We'll be, by the time we meet again, there will be, the playoffs will be clear. We know who's going to play. I think by Thursday we might have the first playoff game as well.
Oh, you know what? Explain something to me. 4 games is yellow,
Yeah.
On the 1 and 2 play and 3 and
Yes.
4 play, right?
No, yeah. So it's called Page Meyer or Page system, where
Correct.
because after 2010, when we saw like number 4 will just kill number 1 in the semi-final, and they're all gone.
Yeah.
Just like it happened to India last year in World Cup. So 1 and 2 play. So there is an incentive to be in top 2 so that you get a second chance. So 1 and 2 plays, and
the loser will play.
Winner goes straight to the final. And 3-4 plays, the loser goes out, and the winner will play the loser of 1-2, which is
okay. That's what
which is the virtual semi-final. So yeah, that's the incentive to go to the top 2 positions. So and also that means you will never have a final between 3 and 4. So 1 or 2 will always be in the final, and most likely 1 and 2 again.
In this situation, even 3 and 4 are as good as 1 and 2.
Yeah. Seriously, yeah. We don't know who's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, assuming the 4 that we're talking about, it doesn't really matter. Everybody is equally good, so
yes.
On that day, who is going to be better?
If it's Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, and Punjab in whatever order, we have an amazing situation where it's the defending champion versus 3 newbies. The 3 teams have never won the trophy. So that will be an amazing contest in itself. And for some reason, Delhi is the only team who has never played a final at all. So we'll see. Okay. And then there's also the women's mini IPL that's going to start next week. We can talk a little bit again next week. If anybody is following, please follow. Look at the teams and the scores. It's interesting. See who won last year. We can talk more about it as well. And that's it for this week. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Hope to see you all again next week.
Got it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.